Let's talk about the price of the Helix Stadium, because I think what they've done and the way they've priced it is really, really clever. As consumers, it gives us a really good, clear choice as to where it is in the market and what its competition is. So let's have a look. We know the price point comes in at $21.99 for the XL, which is the big unit with the rocker pedal and the scribble strips and a couple of extra ins and outs on the back. That's the big unit. The smaller unit, the standard version, comes in at $17.99, and it's got a smaller footprint that way and that way. It's got the same DSP, it does all the same things inside, it's got just as much power. You lose the rocker pedal and a couple of ins and outs, and you lose the scribble strips, but everything else is the same. It's got the same DSP, it's got the same memory, it's got the same screen, it runs the same models, it does everything the same. Let's quickly talk about the basics of what you get in both Helix units for those two price points. You get the old Helix unit with all of those sounds and all of those effects. You get the 16 new super duper amp models that nobody's heard yet, but they're meant to be really, really special. And we've got capturing on the way. Not here yet, but on the way, and it's potentially NAMM captures or something similar. And we've got this new showcase mode, and they're treating it as a platform rather than just a guitar modeler. The competition is guitar modelers. Helix is now a platform, which I think is a clever move, and it's a good move for the future. So you get all of that for $17.99. The nearest competition is, first of all, the Quad Cortex. Do you see what I mean about it being similar? Similar size, and it's got a big screen, lots of ins and outs, but the Quad Cortex gives you amp models, which are okay. It gives you effects, which are good, although nothing really earth-shattering. And it gives you captures, which are good, and it's real thing, but they're not quite as good anymore as Tonex or NAMM. That's $17.99. It also has plug-in, not quite plugins, but versions of their plugins that you can load into it, which are their better versions of the amp models. So there's a Reba version, there's a Plini, there's a Soldano, there's a few other bits and pieces as well. And you can buy them, but they're not cheap. And here's an interesting little aside. Over the last few days since the launch of the Helix, it may be coincidence, it may not be, but on my social media feed, I've seen adverts for Quad Cortex. And I've never seen adverts for Quad Cortex before, ever. Is it a coincidence? Or are they nervous? Are you getting adverts on your feeds as well? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. So when you get the Helix, you get the better amp models as well as the old ones, and you are going to get captures which are potentially better or as good as, at least, than the Quad Cortex, both at $17.99. Then you get all of the other stuff in Helix, like the showcase mode and the potential for more things to happen. Now, talking about potential for more things to happen, do you remember when Quad Cortex came along and we were told it would get this, and this, and it got, well, what happened? It was tumbleweed for years, wasn't it? And then we got a few models. Line 6 have promised a lot. You know what? I think I trust them a little bit more because they've given us a timeline. And they've talked about what's going to happen next. And then they've talked about things beyond that that they're not telling us. So yes, they're dangling carrots, which again is clever, but there's a timeline, and that just gives me a little bit more trust. And it's line 6. They've got a history of updating stuff and bringing more things to existing products. So, yep, I trust them a little bit more to bring the updates than Neural, who have not the best track record. So that's one of the competitors. The other competitor, really interestingly, is Fractal. And Fractal have the FM9, funnily enough, for $17.99 on Sweetwater today when I'm making this video. And the FM9 has superb amp models and superb effects. It's really good. It's a beast to program, and it has no captures. So you get really good amps really good effects, but no captures. And here's Helix, which is offering really good quality amps with the new Agora stuff. It's offering captures coming soon, and it could well be that their NAMM captures are superb. It's got legacy effects which are good, and it's got some of the newer, more sophisticated versions like the Ganymede reverbs, the polycapos, all of those kind of things that are very, very DSP intensive, that eat up half of your Helix when you use them. But now with the bigger version, the newer version, there's going to be more scope for effects that are as big and as DSP intensive as that. But out of the 3 units, which one do you think offers the best value for money? Which of those 3 do you think offers the best future proofing? I don't think it's a difficult question to answer. You know what? I think with that smaller Helix unit, the Quad Cortex and the Fractal have got some work to do. But here's a decision you might have to make. If you are going to get the Helix, do you get in now and pre-order and get in right at the beginning? Or do you hang fire and wait till the captures come along so you get a little bit more when you actually spend your money? Decisions, decisions, decisions. This, by the way, is not a sponsored video. I get no money, no payment, no getting nothing for it. So if you can give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already, then that'd be much appreciated. And comment below if you've got something useful to add. And have a look at one of my other Helix videos on your screen right now. Cheers.